I want to ask, so this was a season with a lot of action. It was a season that was very emotionally fraught, and I want to talk about season 2 before we start to look forward to season 3. And let's start with the writers. What did you guys see as your job writing season 2 and creating the stories and taking the characters on their respective journeys? Yeah, Wes, what was your job?
I mean, I think the challenge was how to build on season 1. And, you know, the Colony's never wanted to play hide the ball with its secrets. We definitely have a place we want to go, but it's told from this perspective, which is the perspective of this family. And we want to make sure that I think it's going to be most satisfying to you, the fans, and to us as, you know, writers of the show, if it comes out organically and through their perspective and in a way that feels earned and justified. So the challenge with season 2 is how do we create something that's emotionally engaging, as you say, and tells a great story, and also sets us up for where we want to go and the huge leap we want to make into season 3, which is going to dramatically reframe the show.
Were there boxes you had to check in season 2? Were there answers you felt like you needed to give? Or there answers that you felt like this can hold on a little longer?
Yeah, I mean, we've always seen the show as being a series of kind of concentric rings of story, and season 1 necessarily just had to be small. We had to introduce this world through the, you know, kind of singular point of view of the Bowman family. But then as the show has evolved, and now we're 23 episodes into it, and we're going to have another 13 episodes coming this year, you're able to expand out those rings and see the world from, you know, larger and larger and different, more diverse points of view, and that will immerse you further in the sense of this grand worldwide occupation. So we just wanted to kind of slowly iris it out as the story evolved, and I think we've been successful at that. I think there are things that that are yet to be revealed. There are things that we've given you guys that you just haven't figured out yet, too. So I would challenge you to go back and take another look. But you know, there are a lot of
sneaky.
There are a lot of you know, we're already, you know, pretty far into season 3, at least from a story basis, and there's a lot of big answers to come. So I think, you know, very early this season, you'll have a really good sense of all the big questions that you are probably asking yourself and us right now will be revealed pretty early in season 3.
Well, and we're going to give you guys an opportunity to ask those questions. But before we do, Tori, I want to ask you about your character, about Broussard. He had an interesting season. There was a lot going on there, and I think, you know, you learned a lot about his character. I'm curious just to hear, where do you think this guy is going? Where is he headed? Where would you like to see him go?
Hopefully to season 10.
He's a complicated guy, though. I mean, do you think he's working for himself? Is he working for the greater good? Is he working for the resistance?
I think, you know, one of the things that's most compelling to me is the fact that it's such a gray area with all of the characters. You know, the morality changes. You know, like he was playing both sides to try to get information. You know, that does something to a person, to a character. And then he found himself working with Will, which I don't think he thought that would ever happen. But in this world and under these circumstances, you know, everything is changing. And I think not only for him, but for all of the characters.
Yeah.
So I do, at the heart of him, I know he's a good guy. You know, I think he's doing it for all the right reasons, but, you know, sometimes he might be excessive.
Well, and I will say, you know, this is part of what makes Colony so interesting, is you have these very morally complex characters. Peter, let's talk about that for a moment.
Why? I find my character not... Well, no, go ahead. I'm sorry. What was the question?
You know, you're playing a character that we don't know all his secrets. We don't know where he stands on things. I'm just curious about your approach to that character.
It's so fun to play somebody like that. I mean, really, I know the writers are right here, and I can say thank you, you know, to be able to you know, sort of live in that who the hell is he zone. Which Snyder really does. For me as an actor, we were just talking about this earlier, it's really, you know, Snyder thinks he's a good guy. He does not think, oh, I'm bad and I'm, you know, I'm this, I'm that. It's just he is a master survivor, and he will do whatever the hell it takes to survive. And in the skin of somebody who doesn't look like that or sound like that, he's not your typical sort of snidely whiplash villain. I think that's what's really compelling, is that he's just sort of a guy. I'm not saying that I'm such a typical looking human being, but I guess, yeah, I'm a normal guy. But it's exciting to play somebody who's...
You're above average.
Thank you.
Also, yelling out, "I'm a normal guy," usually doesn't mean you're a normal guy.
Define normal. Define normal.
Yeah.
Okay, then I don't have anything else to say because I just wanted to get us to that point where Carlton would comment like that. And
But I think, you raise an interesting point about survival, and these characters will do anything to survive.
Yeah.
And we've seen that from every single character, and yet Snyder is painted as a villain very often, but, Josh, your character is the hero, and Sarah, too, you guys are the heroes of the piece, but you're doing the same thing, right? Anything to survive.
Yes, and that's a difficult place to be, where I guess on Lost, I got to play a character that kind of went back and forth more like
I'm
Peter.
sorry, on what show?
I don't know, some thing. But I got to be more in Peter's position, and kind of whichever way the wind blew me to survive is what I would do. But playing a character with a real moral code that is faced with that is a different dilemma, and that it's painful to play and take that journey, and that's what Will has to do. But
Yeah.
But he has to do it. I mean, what would you do if your child's life is on the line?
Well, and Sarah, you're no stranger to playing a survivor.
Really? That's a clap line? Sweet, thanks, y'all.
But Katie is a very different sort of character. So what are you playing? What are you pulling out of her to play those survival aspects?
I mean, look, to me, one of the most interesting things about Katie is that there are moments when she seems to be willing to put her own children at a certain kind of risk in order to take a stand for all of the children in the block. It's a really complicated space to inhabit, I think, as a parent, but certainly also as a woman. I mean, women are by and large in our storytelling, defined by our ability to be faithful to our husbands and saintly to our children. And to have a woman who, from the outset in the pilot, was articulated as someone who was willing to be devious with her husband and to put her own children's needs at least on par of those with the other children in the block, I just think it's one of the most interesting female characters I've ever had a chance to play.
Yeah.
It's cool, and it just keeps getting
compelling.
more complicated.
Absolutely. And I think she's a big part of why we keep watching.
Cool.
All right, we have questions from you guys. Is there an audience? There are a couple of audience mics, I believe. Why don't you guys line up for those questions now? Before we do that, Ryan, I want to ask you, when you started writing this show, you did not have children, is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
And you now have one.
I do.
Do you write differently? Do you write the family dynamic differently? Has it changed the way maybe that Katie thinks about her characters?
That's an interesting question.
I'm
Ben.
very good at this.
Yeah. Let's get into this. Yeah, I mean, I think I just think the experience of being a parent, changes you in a lot of ways, and I think probably more subconsciously than anything that I've done consciously different. I mean, I think also, I had written parent characters before I was myself a parent, so I think just the actually interacting with a child does help make it a little more authentic, I think. You don't realize how often they say no from such a young age. I love you, Jane, wherever you are. But yeah, I mean, it definitely does change you. I think it helps me engage a little bit more emotionally with Will and Katie as they are struggling parents, so desperately trying to keep the family together and keep them alive in these extreme circumstances.
The show also pivoted pretty dramatically when your wife stopped collaborating with these resistance in season 2.
That's very true. That's very true.
All right, let's get some questions from you guys.
She likes to
over
blow
here.
stuff up.
Go ahead.
Hi. Like the dude, Josh. Nice.
My what?
Your haircut.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Looks good.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up about the kids because those actors are just really incredible, and like the young man that plays Charlie, that's got a lot of depth through it, and for him to have that kind of ability to, especially when you and he are, coming back or trying to get him out of Santa Monica, that was just really powerful acting on his part. But I noticed that maybe he's not in the next season. Am I missing something?
Do you lose the kids in between seasons?
I lost them again, y'all.
There are so many of them. I mean, who could even keep track?
And I'm certainly.
Did we forget the kids? Oh
No, they're there.
No, they're definitely back and a part of the show for sure.
Yeah.
So.
And I will definitely be saving another 1 or 2 or 3 of them. That's what I do.
You're right to point out how great they are, though, too. I mean, I also think Alex Neustadter killed it this year. His episode, I don't know if it was 10, maybe, but the one where he went and, did what he did with the red hand up in the green zone, that kid's just blowing my mind. And it's amazing because we're watching him kind of turn into a man on set, around certain influences. God help him in his life.
Whiskey.
Next question, please.
Click left to find out how Josh Holloway celebrates his birthday.
Or just click to the right to watch part 2.